Now we are starting chapter 2nd of class 10th CBSE, and the name of the chapter is polynomials. Now my dear students, you have studied polynomials in class 9. That was polynomials in one variable, and when you studied there, the general form of the polynomial was the variable x was this, it was like this, this way, and it kept on extending, and finally the last term was a constant number. So here the variable is x, and all this an minus 1, an minus 2, all these numbers are real integers. You can call it as integers. They all are integers. So this was what you had studied in class 9. One more thing was there, and that was an should not be equal to 0. An should not be equal to 0. So dear students, this was polynomial in one variable. Polynomial in one variable. Now, you had studied regarding degree of the polynomial. You had studied about degree of the polynomial. The highest power variable, or in other words, the highest power the variable had was said to be the degree of the polynomial. For example, if you had something like this, then you had said that degree of this polynomial, now the variable is x, it has power 1, so you had said that its degree is 1. In similar fashion, if you had something like this, you had told that now since here the variable is y and the highest power on the variable is 2, so you had told that the degree is 2. Similarly, if you had some polynomial with variable t such that it was like this, now here the variable t, the highest power of the variable t is 3, so you had said that its degree is 3, and so on. And so on, you had described about the degree of the polynomial. This way, you had discussed degree of the polynomial. Now, one more thing you had discussed, if you remember, one more thing you had discussed, that was a polynomial whose degree is 1. A polynomial whose degree is 1 was said to be linear polynomial. Was said to be linear polynomial. With degree 2, you had called that polynomial as quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial. And if you had a polynomial whose degree was 3, you had told that it's a cubic polynomial. It's a cubic polynomial. So, this was what you had studied in your class 9. One more thing you had studied, and that was the value of the polynomial at the given value of the variable. Like I will show you this with one example. I will show you this with one example. That if you have, suppose you have one example, I will take one example here. The polynomial px is x square plus 7x plus 12. You had been told to find the value of this polynomial at various given values of the variable. Like suppose we find this value for x equals to 2. For x equals to 2, so you used to write P2 in place of x, 2 P2, this in place of x square you used to write 2 square plus 7 into 2 plus 12. So this used to be 4 plus 14 plus 12. So the answer used to be 18, 20, 30. Then for x equals to 0, P0 used to be 0 square plus 7 into 0 plus 12. That is this 0, this 0, this 12. The answer was 12. Now, if it was given find value of this polynomial for x equals to minus 3. So you had done P of minus 3 equals to minus 3 square plus 7 into minus 3 plus 12. So minus 3 square 9, 7 into minus 3 minus 21 plus 12. And if you check, you get your answer as 0. That is the remainder coming 0. Similarly, if you are asked to find at x equals to minus 4, so you would have done P of minus 4 equals to minus 4 square plus 7 into minus 4 plus 12. So this 16 minus 28 plus 12. And again your answer was 0. Now this value of the variable for which the polynomial becomes, the remainder becomes 0 was said to be 0 of the polynomial. So you had defined 0 of the polynomial as if you have any real number k, if you have any real number k such that k equals to 0, then k was said to be 0 of the polynomial. Then k is said to be 0 of the polynomial. Like here, if you have x equals to minus 3 or if you have x equals to minus 4, the value of p of minus 3 or p of minus 4 is coming out to be 0. So you will say that for this polynomial, the zeros are minus 3 and minus 4. That is, if you take these values, the value of the polynomial will become 0 and hence they will be known as zeros of the polynomial. Now here the question is, what is the geometrical meaning of the 0 of the polynomial? In class 9th, you had simply asked to find whether the given number is 0 of the polynomial or not. Now here we'll discuss about the geometrical meaning of the 0 of the polynomial. So let us see what is the geometrical meaning of the polynomial. So suppose if you have a linear polynomial, like y if you have y equals to 3x plus 6. Now, if you are asked to plot graph of this equation, if you are asked to plot the graph of this equation, so you'll find out that what you used to do is that you used to take 2, 3 values, like you used to make columns for x, for y. You used to choose any arbitrary value, and based on that value you used to plot the graph. Suppose I take 3 arbitrary values. First I take x equals to 0. Now if I put x equals to 0 in this equation, I will get y equals to 6. So this 6. If I take, suppose if I take x equals to minus 2, if I take x equals to minus 2, it will become minus 6 plus 6, that is y will become 0. Even if I take x equals to minus 1, what I will get? Minus 3 plus 6, I will get 3. So if you plot this on this graph, suppose this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, 5, this is your x-axis, and here it's x dash. We do this way. Suppose minus 1, minus 2 this way. Here it's y-axis, and this is y dash axis. This is y dash. Here you have 1, 2, 3, say 4. Here you say minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and so on. Now, if x is 0, that means this origin. If x is 0, y is 6. I will take it further. Suppose here I am taking 5 and 6. So you first put your point here. This is 1, 6. Then for x equals to minus 2, y is 0. That means this is your second point, minus 2, 0. Then if x is minus 1, y is 3. That is here. It's coming minus 1, 3 here. Now if you plot this, since I am doing temporary, so maybe, okay, now this is the value. So I get my graph this way. It means that this is graph of a straight line. You are getting a straight line. To me to say that whenever you have a linear equation, or not equation, if you have a linear polynomial, whenever you have linear polynomial, in that case, if you plot the diagram, you are always going to get a straight line. One thing you can see here, that this line is cutting x-axis at only one point. The line, as you see, the line is cutting x-axis at only one point. What it means? It means that this polynomial, linear polynomial, will have only one 0. It will have only one 0. To mean to say, there will be only one value of x which will give remainder 0, or which will make the polynomial equal to 0. You can see also, if you are taking x minus 2, overall you are getting 0. If you are taking x minus 2, you are getting 0. Or other way you can find out, like in earlier classes what you used to do, even in 9th you have done, when you asked to find the 0 of the polynomial, you used to do this way. Then 3x equals to minus 6, x equals to minus 6 upon 3, x equals to minus 2. So only one value of the variable you used to get. Graphically also you can see that if you have a linear polynomial, or if you have a polynomial of degree 1, That is linear polynomial. Linear polynomial means polynomial with degree 1. So if you have degree 1, it will have 1 0. It will have only 1 0. Now if you take the case of a quadratic polynomial, you'll find out, if you take a case of a quadratic polynomial, like for example, if you take a quadratic polynomial, say x square minus 5x plus 6. If you have a quadratic polynomial x square minus 5x plus 6. Now if you plot the graph for this equation, now I'm not going into detail, you can plot this if you wish to on your own. What you find out that this graph is doing something this way. It's going something this way. The graph is something this way. Now such type of shape are called parabola. You will study about parabola in class 11th. Parabola will have such type of shape. Now here what you have to understand. Now since here the curve is cutting x-axis at 2 points. X-axis is cut by the curve at two distinct points. It will mean that this polynomial will have two zeros. Means there will be two values of x which will give remainder 0. It will have two values of x. And from here also you can find out, if you factorize this, it will be x minus 3, x minus 2, and if you make it equals to 0, so x minus 3 equals to 0 or x minus 2 equals to 0, that means x equals to 3 or x equals to 2. So these are the two values which satisfy the polynomial. So what I mean to say, that if you have a quadratic polynomial, it will have two zeros. So what we conclude is that the number of zeros is equal to the degree of the polynomial. In a similar fashion, you can have a quadratic polynomial. If you have a cubic polynomial, then the curve will cut x-axis at three distinct points. It will cut x-axis at three distinct points. So one thing you have to remember here, that to know the number of zeros a given polynomial has, whether the polynomial is linear, quadratic or cubic, you have to see at how many points the curve is cutting the x-axis. At how many points the curve is cutting x-axis. It does not matter at how many points the curve is cutting y-axis. What we are concerned with is at how many points the curve is cutting x-axis. By that you can come to know what is the number of zero of the polynomial. For example, if I have some curve, like suppose if I have some curve like this, if it is something like this, and if you are asked how many zeros this polynomial will have, so find out at how many points x-axis, this is x-axis, you have to find out at how many points the curve is cutting it. So it will cut at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will have 6 zeros. And if they ask what is the degree of this polynomial, so degree of the polynomial is 6. Number of zeros is equal to the degree of the polynomial, or degree of the polynomial is equals to number of zeros. So this way you can easily tell how many zeros the polynomial has. So the thing that you have to remember here, the thing that you have to remember is, if you have a linear polynomial, then it will have 1 0 and the graph will cut x-axis at 1 point. If you have a quadratic polynomial, it will have two distinct zeros. Now for quadratic polynomial you have to be careful. For quadratic polynomial, if you have a quadratic polynomial, so first thing is that it can have two zeros. At most it will have two zeros. A quadratic polynomial cannot have more than two zeros. It can have two distinct zeros, as well as it can also have two identical zeros. Suppose if you have a perfect square number, x square minus 2x plus 4. If you have polynomial this, how you can write this polynomial? You can, now x square minus 2x minus 4 is simply x minus 2 whole square. So what x minus 2 whole square means? X minus 2 equals to 0. That means x equals to 2. That means the curve will cut x-axis at the identical point twice. Will cut the x-axis at identical point twice. And similarly, it can also happen that the quadratic polynomial has no zero. It can so happen that quadratic polynomial has no zero. Like if you are given a graph, something like this way. Now it's a parabola. So if it is a parabola, of course, then it will be a quadratic polynomial. And you see that this curve is not cutting x-axis at any point. Since it's not cutting x-axis at any point, you will say that it has no zero. It has no zero. So this thing you have to remember in case of a quadratic polynomial, and in case of cubic polynomial, of course, you will have two distinct zeros. It can also happen, you can have two identical and the third one distinct. So depending upon the nature of the polynomial, you can decide about the number of zeros it has. So I hope you all have understood what I tried to say. Your exercise first, that is 2.1, is totally based on this. So if you go through the lecture properly, I am confident that you will be able to solve exercise 2.1 on your own. In case if you find any difficulty, comment me in the comment box. I will try to solve the problem in my next video. Till then, have a good day.